Hi everyone, my name is Lois, and in this short video, I'm going to explain multimodality. You may have heard of the term multimodal AI models, and you might be wondering what this means. Since OpenAI's inception, we have built a number of AI models, including GPT-4o, which is our flagship model that powers ChatGPT. GPT-4o is a multimodal model. And multimodality simply means that ChatGPT can process and understand multiple types of input. By input, I mean things like text, images, audio, data, and a range of file types. ChatGPT is not just a chatbot. Sure, it's going to be very good at answering your questions and identifying where you should go for dinner on a Friday night, but it is incredibly powerful, and its ability to offer a range of different use cases and support work-based tasks is really infinite. ChatGPT can summarize and generate text, create images, analyze large data files to support research, browse the web in real time, and you can now also speak to ChatGPT with your own voice. What I'm going to do now for you is highlight these capabilities by showing you a series of 6 quick demonstrations to help you understand this concept more deeply. We are going to jump across into ChatGPT, and we're going to give ChatGPT a series of prompts to trigger a different output each time. Starting with my first prompt, I am going to do a text-based request in the hope that I get a text-based response. Quite simply, I'm going to add in a basic prompt, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me generate innovative ideas for our next team building event. Let's send that across. And very quickly, GPT-4o responds with text. And you can see that we have a series of bullet points outlining some suggestions for how we can run a rather creative team building event. This is really helpful. It's a really great step to allow us to ideate and plan. What I'm going to do now is show you how you can take that one step further. If we want to do more research, we can actually ask ChatGPT to trigger a search of the internet. In this same chat, I can ask another request of ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, can you browse the internet for top team building trends in 2024? ChatGPT is actually smart enough to know which model it should be using simply by what you ask in the prompt. And we can see that in this response, we have text, but we also have sources quoted. And these will take us to the web page for us to explore this topic in more depth. And to summarize, ChatGPT has identified some modern workplace trends to help us with this team building exercise. We have virtual and hybrid team building, an emphasis on mental health and well-being, some cultural and diversity awareness, and we have some other suggestions here, including continuous learning and skills development. Through this search alone, I can start to research and understand how best to support an event like this. I'm going to move away from text-based generation and triggering searches of the internet, and we are going to engage in a conversation with ChatGPT using only my voice. I'm going to trigger a new chat, and using the voice mode icon, I'm going to engage in a conversation with ChatGPT to get a response. Let's see how this works. Hi, ChatGPT. I'm preparing to meet with senior leaders next week to discuss my education strategy. You can keep your response brief, but typically, what are leaders looking for in a meeting like this, and how can I best prepare?
For a meeting like this, focus on strategic alignment, measurable outcomes, and efficient resource use. To prepare, ensure your strategy clearly aligns with the organization's goals. highlight key metrics to measure success, and be ready to discuss resource requirements and timelines. Keep your presentation concise, focusing on these aspects to address their primary concerns. Would you like any tips on presenting this information?
Yes, I'd love that. And I'd also love for you to tell me how I can make the most impactful slides for a presentation like this.
Certainly, for impactful slides, focus on clarity and simplicity. Here are a few tips. 1. Use visuals wisely. Incorporate charts or graphs to represent data clearly. Avoid clutter and stick to one main idea per slide. 2. Highlight key points. Use bullet points for key messages and keep text to a minimum. This helps maintain the audience's focus. 3. Consistent design. Use a consistent color scheme and font throughout to create a professional look. 4. Include examples. Use case studies or examples to illustrate your points effectively. For presenting, start with a strong opening that outlines the agenda. Be prepared to answer questions with data or examples. Conclude with a summary of key takeaways and next steps. Would you like more detailed advice on any of these points?
No, that's great. Thank you, ChatGPT. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good luck with your meeting. If you need any more help, feel free to ask.
Great. So what we just did there is engaged in a voice conversation with ChatGPT. And what I love about this capability is that you can see that the conversation has been recorded in a chat. So at any point I want to go back and understand what we spoke about, it is all captured for me right here. Moving on from voice input, I want to talk a little bit about creating images. We're going to trigger a new chat. And here I am going to ask ChatGPT to be very creative. I'm going to ask, create a close-up image of an eye with a vibrant landscape or universe beautifully reflected in the iris. Let's see what we get back. You'll notice again that ChatGPT is processing that request and generating the image. And there we have an incredibly creative image of the iris that we requested and the universe reflected back to us. Keeping in line with the idea of vision, we're now going to do the reverse. Rather than request an image, I'm going to upload an image to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze it. To do that, I am going to use the paperclip icon, and this is an image of a whiteboard. This is a real life image that myself and my colleague did in the office this week. And this is an overview of the content we want to add into one of our ChatGPT webinars. This is a typical use case. You might be ideating with a colleague, writing on a whiteboard, and then maybe you want to capture all of that into bullet points and text. And ChatGPT is going to be perfect at helping you to do that. What we're going to do is ask a very basic prompt, and we're going to say, can you summarize this image? And very quickly, we do have that text-based response. ChatGPT has correctly identified that this is the 101 session. There is an introduction. We cover key areas. We focus on workflows within ChatGPT. And there's even some action points and annotations identified as well. ChatGPT is very good at analyzing images. In the spirit of analyzing, I'm going to move on to my last demonstration to highlight ChatGPT's power and its multimodal capabilities. In this example, I am going to upload a PDF. This is a technical paper, a research paper, and we're going to add it into the chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT, can you review this technical paper and explain it to me in a simple way? You can see that ChatGPT is reading the document, it's analyzing it, and then it responds with text, really summarizing the document that we uploaded. And what we have is an overview of GPT-4o and what's identified in the research paper, safety and ethics, testing, and also a section on impact as well. So what I've just done for you in the last 10 minutes is highlighted the ability to upload and interact and provide ChatGPT with a variety of different inputs to get a number of different outputs.